Quite often, Christians like to say, one day you're going to find out. One day when you face God's judgment, you're going to find out. Or they're asked, well, what are you going to say when God comes down? I think this video illustrates exactly my first thing I might have to say to this guy, seeing as how I'm a father.
Lucifer, who is that?
It's my dad.
Your dad? As in God?
Yes, yes, and I know it's probably very overwhelming, but please do not inflate his ego, Detective. It's big enough as it is. Here we go again.
Hi. Hi. God, I'm Chloe. I'm guessing you already know that, but here's something that maybe you don't know. And respectfully, sir, you are a terrible father. I am sure you had your hands full with creating the earth, the sun, the universe, whatever, but I know what it's like to be a working parent, and my 2 cents, again, respectfully, when it comes to Lucifer, you screwed up. Big time. Your kid acts up and you kick them out of the house and go radio silent for thousands of years? That's just mean. Respectfully.
It's nice to finally meet you, Chloe Decker. I can certainly see how much you care for my son. He's lucky to have you.
So you see, the sad part about it is that for any Christian who comes and listens to this video, what they're going to say is something in the framework of, oh, you will be in so much fear at the sight of God, or you're so much respect at the sight of God, or it'll be too late at the sight of God. You just wouldn't be able to say all those things at the sight of God. And I bet you will be, shitting your pants at the sight of God. No, no. You see, if your God did exist, which he doesn't, if Lucifer did exist, which he doesn't, it's just the planet Venus. See it every morning right before the sun rises, the light bringer. But if he did, no, I would not be in fear of this God. I would not have issues with this God. I would have issues, but I would not be in fear. Fear, no. Disgust is what I would be. Disgust. Because I would be disgusted at a being that would call itself the creator of all things, the God of the universe, but yet has such a low moral standard and is so narcissistic and so needy, such a needy God. But in this reference, as a father, uh, one of the reasons I lived in Atlanta for so long that I did, and I didn't want to live there, is because once I got divorced, my children were there. I'm not leaving my children. I'm going to be there for them. Uh, yeah, I wanted to go ahead and move out of the country. I wanted to go ahead and move to San Antonio, but I wasn't leaving my children. Those are my kids. And this God abandons his first children. I want y'all to think about that for a second. This God abandoned his first kids. Because according to this story, which is why I'm so glad that it's a make-believe story, but according to this story, he creates this heaven, and these children of his have agency. They rebel against this God, and then he casts them into damnation, chained up, so that he can have a second family. And then with the second family, he gives them options, and he gives them rain, and then he gives them a test of a tree, and then he gives them a flood, and then he saves them with some people and they little kids, and then he does a tower thing to spread them out, and then he does favorite children, and then he's some slavery and some genocide, and then he sends some judges, and he has some kings, and then he finally sends himself as a human sacrifice. Uh, he does all of this for the second kids. That's like, when a man and a woman get divorced and the woman keeps the kids, but the man then goes off and start a whole nother family, or he goes to a blended family and he treats those other kids better than he treats his own kids. That's God. That's your God. So, no, that's not how you do it. It didn't matter if I was with somebody who had kids, somebody who didn't have kids, if they had nieces, nephews, cousins, whatever. My kids are still my kids. I'm going to treat everybody with some love, but I'm never going to abandon my first children. But that's what this guy supposedly did. And you expect me to have respect for that. I wouldn't respect a human who does that. So I'm damn sure not going to respect some invisible being who does that as well. And then they are to sit here and watch this God allow for his second level of children to flourish and have opportunity after opportunity. And then they all get cast into a lake of fire for those who don't believe in this God. So the first children never got a second chance, but the second kids get second, third, fourth, fifth chances, all kinds of opportunities. You see how your God doesn't make any sense. You see how your God is a bad father. That Chloe Decker had it right. He's a bad, bad, bad father to abandon your child like that. Now I know for those who watch the show knows that the theme of that show is about the process of Lucifer and the demons coming into self-actualization and forgiveness of themselves so that they can either in the demon's case have a soul and in Lucifer's case forgive himself and be able to reign, go up into the heavens and be back in heaven. So we know the whole show is about redemption and looking inside yourself and ridding yourself of guilt. But I just love that scene because it demonstrates my attitude towards this God and what my attitude would be if this God had the balls to show up. I've still been waiting. Y'all been claiming this God is all powerful. You say that if you those who mock God have issues. I ain't had no issues, but I've been waiting on this guy. Show up. I got a whole couch sitting right over there. But he ain't got the cojones to do so. So y'all have a great day. And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.